Okay, now you have to, because I don't have names to start yelling out names. I don't even have my computer here. I'm what you call woefully unprepared. Maybe I will be able to see the names on my phone. Maybe. Live chat. We want. Yeah. Hello, 4 people who are watching right now. It's going to be a slow burn, I can tell. 11 people. Hello, John C. Hello, Robert White. That's all I got so far. What? Lindy Beto. Oh, ooh, too many, too fast. Wife, you got to do it.
Oh my God.
You got to start yelling. Yell out names. Say hi to everybody.
Jeremiah Dempsey, Ron Shopes, Tina Kusiak, Monzi Mew, Jason Augustini, Christy Conor. Oh gosh.
Good effort, wife. Solid effort.
Richard Gladden, Michael Lassiter, L. Copeland, Joshua Kane, Dee, Chad Smith, Michael Randall. Good God.
Come on, wife.
Angel Naver, 1975. Lucy, 1975. Janet Nahara.
They're counting on you.
Monster Fab. Rob O'Brien. L. Copeland. Great House Haunts. Monzi Mew says hello again. My poor partner, Draco666, misses, but far due to work. Fieldwalker Mass. Jekyll and Hyde Creation.
Hello, Scotland.
Stanley S. Love for Tink. Scott Colhart. Sean Davies. The Harry Beastie. Jody Bowers.
5 more. Just 5 more. Then we're done.
Raven Rath. Edson Juice. Larry Hughes. Daniel Brown. Ezekiel Bradshaw.
Okay. Hooray. Anybody else, you don't get a personal shout out just because, boy, that's a lot of work. I'm not going to,
You didn't do anything.
I did the first like 3.
You did 3.
Come on now, pull your weight, wife. You got to work around here.
You got it. You better work.
So, hi, everybody.
Titus has got my pumpkin mask. It's amazing. And hello from Canada.
Awesome. I am glad. Hello, Canada. So, what did you guys think about the YouTube Wednesday video? For the record, I came in here, I told my wife what I was going to do. That wasn't it. And an hour later, she comes in and I'm making this pumpkin, and she's like, "What is this?" And I said, "I've been thinking about this, and I can't get it out of my head." So here is the pumpkin. And it's so lightweight and awesome. I like
Jekyll
it.
and Hyde says loved it. Rob O'Brien wants to know how many times did you burn your fingers? Chad Smith says welcome back. Edson says ooh, pumpkin.
My fingers are unburnable. Cheney wants his pumpkin. He really wants his pumpkin. He thinks that is going to be able to eat it. Why do you want this? You don't even. Well, you do like pumpkin. You do eat pumpkin sometimes when we're carving it. But I mean, this isn't a real. This smells like chemicals. You don't want this. Ooh, you don't want this. Yeah, for the record, don't teach your dog to something you don't want them to destroy. All right, let's put this away. Why are you gonna put this in the spot you put things that we make on YouTube Wednesday?
Same with the place and the stuff.
Yeah.
It was fantastic and educational. Richard Gladden says I liked it, but not sure mine would have turned out that pumpkin-ish.
It takes a little bit of practice. I was very happy with how my first one turned out, but I know I'm gonna make more in the future. I love pumpkin patch haunted houses. Like I want to do a whole haunt that is a pumpkin patch. And the main prohibitive thing is the cost of pumpkins, the cost of fake pumpkins. Real pumpkins are actually way cheaper than fake pumpkins. And that's just not right on so many levels. All right.
Toronto Freddy, have you ever made a Freddy glove?
I have not made a Freddy glove. I don't do a lot of movie props. I do some, but I don't do a ton of movie props. There are a lot of good Freddy glove makers out there. If you are looking for one, I can probably recommend someone to you. Shoot me an email at stiltbeaststudios@gmail.com, and then I can recommend someone who makes an excellent glove.
Plastic Ninja, I haven't had a chance to watch yet, but it's a really smart idea. Tina Kusiak, those who make those would be good to make a pumpkin arch so light.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a great idea. And you could cheat and make like some half pumpkins, because that method allows you to make half pumpkins as easier than full pumpkins.
I have a question. Have you ever made a Nosferatu mask spin?
Ever made a Nosferatu mask? Yes. I don't know what Nosferatu mask spin means.
And Line Cook says hello.
Hello, Line Cook Core Jamie Faxton, longest name on YouTube.
No, he's not. James Chuba says, I'm a friend of Andrew DeRader.
Hooray! That guy's awesome. I got the joy of working with him for a little bit.
Hello, Botox Rocks. Hello, Edson and White G.
Hello, everybody.
Jody Bauer says, a pumpkin arch is a good idea.
Great idea.
Jeff Leach, arch that to a bungee cord and you can throw it at folks.
You know what? It's not light enough to trigger the bungee cord. Maybe a piece of like 1/2-inch elastic, but it looks like it weighs like a pound or two. It weighs almost nothing. Want to see me throw it at my wife? Because she could catch it easy. It's so lightweight and it wouldn't hurt her.
No gingerin. Gosh, you guys, you come up with these names. First time watching live. I like your videos so far.
Oh, thank you. It's like, I like your videos so far.
So far.
I'm sure you'll screw up eventually. You're probably right.
John Lowell, have you ever considered doing a proton pack from Ghostbusters?
I have not. Again, I don't do a lot of movie props. Because there's just so many other people who do those. And I really like monsters. And I want to make monsters. I'm kind of anti-Ghostbusters because they stop monsters. If you think about it, we're working at two opposite ends of the spectrum. I think the world needs more monsters, and they think that ghosts ought to be busted. We're at an impasse. Me and the Ghostbusters.
Let's see, have you ever done a helmet mask of the Phantom of the Paradise?
I have not.
Jacqueline High Creation says, yay, pumpkin head. El Copeland is complimenting me on my pumpkin pictures.
Oh, good pumpkin picture.
Toronto Freddy. Now, I know lots of people, thanks. I just wanted to know if you ever made one. Thanks for answering my question.
No, because again, if there's, I want to do things that not a lot of people do, you know, and there's some really good people out there who make them, and if I made it, the best that I could do is not as good as the original, you know. I don't know. I don't like doing it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Tarantula says, I want to make a pumpkin big enough to crawl inside, but I need much bigger noodles.
No, 48-inch noodle, I think you'd be there.
The question on the Nosferatu was not spin, it's spin off. Have you ever done a Nosferatu?
I've done a straight Nosferatu. Why should I show them the Nosferatu mask? Okay, I'm going to take you guys. Field trip. Excellent.
Have you ever made a chupacabra?
Yes, I have made a chupacabra. I've made exactly 3 chupacabras in my life. And one ended up on a TV show. Okay, we're going out back. And we're going to go to, like, this building here. That's the booth building. And, ooh, look, shadow animals. Okay, so this building here is the booth building, we call it, because it's all the stuff that goes to my booth at trade shows. Right here is a light switch. Sure is dark in here, isn't it? Aha! All right. And in here, there's a lot of stuff in here, but also in here is a Nosferatu mask that I made recently. Here. Nosferatu. Doing Nosferatu-y things. The teeth like this. Nosferatu. Okay. And let's go in and let's get painting. I have masks to make. Come on, doggos. I have 300-pound dogs, and their gift is to be always in between where me and where I want to go. It's what they do.
Would you ever consider sandworms? I bet you meant sandworms monsters.
I've actually done a lot of worm-type masks, so yes, I would consider that.
Hello, Jordan Diesel. It says I saw a display at Transworld where 3 ghastly pumpkinhead men were brutalizing Santa with pitchforks. The funny thing about their faces were their mouths rotten balls.
Awesome.
What's your favorite character to make and do the costumes for yourself?
Werewolf, Wolfman. A Wolfman costume is my very favorite.
I love your crying angel statue.
Why, thank you. I appreciate that. It was very fun to make.
Tina says, okay, any idea how I could make the Tingler from the Vincent Price movie? It's just a bug, but I brought blank.
No, Loctite foam. The Tingler is like a centipede, Loctite foam. Put it down on a table, put plastic down, spray it, and spray out the basic shape of it, and then you can shape all those segments and things with your fingers. I actually did a video on making a spine out of Loctite foam. If you watch that video, then you will get an idea of how to make the Tingler, in my opinion. That is a way to make it, of course, not the only way to make it.
Tarantula says, I call my cat Mercury Chirpacabra because he always chirps.
Chirpacabra.
Chirpy cats too. And they like says, oh,
That was cool. Turning on your compressor is cool. So quiet. The compressor.
okay, Ravens Brown. Okay, Ravens Round 888. I put a link on for the website t-shirts. If you scroll down on this page, there's also the Teespring t-shirts. If that might be something else you like.
Yes, Teespring.
They are here on the same page. Just scroll down. Okay, Ryan Heidecker. I've been watching a lot of your videos. Good content. I'm definitely going to use some of your prop ideas on my lawn this year. Thank you. What do you want attention?
Shaney.
Tarantula says you should make cute stuff like Mewtwo or Mouse Ferratu.
You know, I was thinking, no.
That's cute.
No.
I like it.
Not happening. No. Monsters are nothing.
Hyena Hawk says I made my wood mask.
Oh, you did? How'd it go?
Rachel Powell says I have to share because I'm so dang happy. I went back to my weight loss coach in my first week of keto. I lost 5.8 pounds, and that means from my heaviest, I'm down 40 pounds.
That's awesome.
Congratulations, Rachel. Hyena Hawk says I went to Haunted Overload.
Yeah? What'd you think of them? I love their show.
Jason Augustini says I'm still waiting for the Skeletor in the Streets Beats Man in the Sheets shirt.
Okay. I will try and work on that tonight when I sit down. I really will. And I've had someone request a Go Make Stuff shirt. Like, that's it. Just on the front, Go Make Stuff. So, I'll do that.
Ravens Round 888. Now that's a pumpkin mask.
It will be.
Horror Beauty says
Hello, Horror Beauty.
Ezekiel says best product to stick upholstery foam to info?
So go to an upholstery supply company and get what they use. I have stuff that I see because you're in Australia, so it's probably going to be different. But there's a can of stuff that I get, and well, it's way up there, but it's like a contact cement, but it's their industrial contact cement, and it's pretty wonderful.
They like the mask to the left. They're trying to see what it is.
Bella she's just a mean dog. She wants to pick on her brothers. She's the smallest of them, and I think she has a chip on her shoulder. And she's just mean. Like, I kind of like chided her just now, and she rolled over onto her back immediately. But Cheney is standing nearby, and she's trying to bite his ankles. She's just a jerk.
She's gonna stick up for herself.
She's not sticking up for us. She's a bully. That's not sticking up. That's not how that works.
Okay.
Looks like she keeled over, but she's fine.
Everybody's gonna say, "Oh, she's so sweet."
No, she's the devil. Oh, this mask over here, you'll see it. I'm going to work on it tonight too.
Botox Rock says I still need to get a heat gun.
Do it, man. $10, it'll change your life. One of my favorite tools.
James Shoebox says, question about the Loctite foam. Can you use a texture pad of sorts that will transfer it over to the foam for the light scale?
Only for, because the foam does expand some. So there's this window where it's sculptable. So yes is the technical answer, but if you don't babysit it and watch it, it might puff out. And I think a texture stamp might be too refined. I don't want to give you the wrong idea.
The video Mike says, I just got 50 plus pool noodles from Dollar General for $4.
Yeah, right now is the time for pumpkin noodle deals, my friend.
Know your Joe. Your tip on pool noodles with a heat gun was awesome. I got some pool noodles, heat gun this week, then it gonna make stuff.
Yeah. Now, it takes a little bit of finessing. Just practice it. And you'll see, how close it has to be. You'll see how it works. But it does take a little bit of finessing. You're not gonna jump out of the gate and be a phenomenal pool noodler.
Tarantula says, they would still be monsters, just cute monsters. Chupacabra would be a murderer and cricket.
No.
I think it's cute.
One of the worst things that happen to monsters is Pokemon and their cute, chibi, monstery shapes.
I think it's cute, Tarantula. Jen Daigle. All of their t-shirts are great. I have ordered a few, and my favorites are my Still Be Studios one and my Monster Academy one.
Hooray.
She says my daughter loves hers too. Diana Haas. Haunted Overload. It was great, but I have no idea how to make the rest of the outfit. Haunted Overload was awesome, though. The end was a little disappointing.
Which outfit? Oh, you made a wooden mask. That's right. So what kind of character did you make? I would probably not make a whole costume out of wood. I don't want to crush anybody's dreams. I'm just saying there's options.
Harvey says, hello. I hope you and Mrs. Tops are good.
We are good. I'm so glad that my wife is here reading comments for me.
Chad Smith says, did you get to do some acting this weekend? How was it?
I did, and it was actually really nice. The weather was terrible, but as far as the acting went, it was really nice to be able to go somewhere where I wasn't in charge. Nobody was asking me what to do, really, and just play with some customers. And I got to work in the haunt and scare some people, and that was very nice. I really liked it.
Lisa Hall, I'm a new subscriber, and I'm absolutely addicted to your videos. You make the most amazing things. Thank you for all of the inspection. I can't wait to go next time.
You are very kind, and thank you very much. I'm glad you like the videos.
Thank you, Lisa. What is the mask next to the one you are painting?
That is a boar. It is a wild boar, and we're going to work on that one next.
RB says Bella is out of control. Grady's Garage. What a great name.
She is out of control.
Please make a video making shrunken heads with a spray foam.
Okay. We can do that.
Perma wet dog and four-legged toilet brush. That works. That works.
A knocks on the moon!
There you go. Okay, Gordon Easel says, about Ipsosaurus, I cannot figure out how to make his face more expressive. Right now it's a plastic puppet mask with fabric glued over it. I really want to make a prosthetic face mask.
Well, to make a prosthetic face mask, you're going to have to get into a couple new practices. But you could also make a two-piece mask, meaning you sculpt, from here up and then from here down. Now, Ipsosaurus kind of looks a bit like Oogie Boogie in the face. He's kind of based off of what you have made previously. So what are you hoping to get out of that prosthetic is my question for you.
Halloween Kieran says hello. John C. said, I bought about 15 things at Harbor Freight yesterday, including an airbrush. When I got home, I looked at the receipt and they didn't charge me for it, so now I have to go back and pay for it.
Those are the Halloween gods saying, hey, have a free airbrush.
RB says, I got that mummy mask on the way.
Do you? Are you going to do Pimp My Mummy? Are you doing that?
Cutie P says hello. Susan of Tide says hello. Hyena Hollis's costume is going to be a forest spirit.
Nice. So, all right. So one of the things that I recommend for people who are just kind of starting in costuming, go to the thrift store and get yourself a trench coat. Like some kind of a trench coat that's like a little bit down. And by trench coat, I mean long sleeves, 3/4 length. And why I recommend that is because it covers so much of the body. And then you decorate the outside of that coat, and your costume is 3/4 of the way done. So if you're new to costuming, go to the thrift store, spend $15, $20 on a trench coat or full-length coat, and then decorate it. Add a cape, add a mantle, add add some fishing net, add some moss, add some ivy, those kind of things.
Project Cambrian says, I used that silicone skeleton glove trick for Jason arms and they turned out really well.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, even if I do spend $500 on a silicone mask, I cannot bring my heart to spend $500 on silicone gloves. So I always will find another solution.
Okay, this name is so great. Instead of the Great Gatsby, the name of this person is the Regular Gatsby.
The regular Gatsby.
What kind
The
of,
adequate Gatsby.
That's so great. What kind? It's not great. What kind of airbrush is good for starting out? About mid-range, maybe.
Don't start at mid-range. Start cheap. If you can pump out okay work on a terrible airbrush, then once you decide to upgrade to a good airbrush, then you're going to do much better work. So I would start out with the Harbor Freight $20 dual action deluxe airbrush kit. That is what I like. This is a $10 Harbor Freight airbrush. If you want to go mid-grade and you jump right into it, you cannot go wrong with the Pache H. I teach an airbrush class here in my shop. We do airbrush lab, and I give them Pache H's when they take the lab. Pache H.
Let's see. Are the airbrushes you use single action or double action?
Everything I use is pretty much single action.
On the forest spirit, Hyena Haas says, I bought burlap that doesn't fit as well as the mask as I wanted it to. You're welcome. Love Talks Rod says, thanks for reading the comments, white.
Yeah, white.
White.
You can actually spray paint the burlap, and you can take like a wire brush to it and kind of frizz it out a little bit. There's a lot of things you can do to the burlap. It's not a bad base fabric, but it does require some love.
Drago80 says, what's up, Alan and Alan's wife? That pumpkin is wicked. Nice dog. Zachary said, do you sell masks?
I do. That's kind of what I do a lot of. Yes. Yeah, I make a lot of masks, and I sell a lot of masks, and I sell masks at StiltBeStudios.com.
And Argo Davies. I went to the Dollar Tree last night, and not a noodle to be found except the ramen bite, and I just got a new blanket.
Cool.
Hi, Jamie. Says thank you, Shannon, for reading and keeping Ellen on track. I'm behind right now. Robert Koberski. Koberski. I think I got that right. Thanks for talking about the Harbor Freight airbrush you got for today. I played with it a little today, and I love it. I'm thinking about getting a second one, so I have too.
Yeah, I mean, I have a drawer full of them. I mean, I would rather buy another airbrush than clean it if it's only $20. And sometimes cleaning the airbrush might take you 2 hours. My time is worth more than 2 hours for $20.
Harbor Cutie says yes to the Shrunken Heads. John C says I'll get another one and just say charge me for 2 on the airbrushes that you want. His and her homestead. I'd love to see what ideas you have for a morgue room, especially filler and props, please.
Well, boy, okay, so a morgue-themed room would be, it would be kind of hospital-y. You know, you're going to get a lot of mileage out of white, stained, dingy stuff. I would Craigslist. It's amazing how cool just old kitchen cabinets can be. Like, and a lot of times you'll see, we removed our kitchen cabinet, it's all here, and you'll see it on Craigslist for free or for pickup. And just paint them white, take the doors off, and then that's shelving. So another thing is go to restaurants and get their like gallon jars and bottles that their food comes in. Instead of them throwing them away, have them give them to you, and you make your own labels for what they are, and then put them up on the shelves. Because a morgue would have shelves full of the chemicals and things that they use.
Are you going to put a mask on the creature of the black?
I bet I've made 8 different fishman masks this year. Like, I have a piranha monster mask, I have a fishman mask, I have a second fishman mask, I have a creature from the Black Lagoon mask. So I have made one recently. I think I have a creature from the Black Lagoon in the mold in the other room, ready to be pulled.
You've got one finished in the shop in the booth.
Do I?
Tarantula says cute has been a part of Halloween since before we were born. It's just a fact. Black cats, bats, and spiders.
Cute is gross.
Cute is great. Jordan Easel, I hope for Cyrus to have a brow and lip movements. Tales from the Backwoods. Great name. I wanted to thank you. I phone filled my first mask using the fence post foam from your from Home Depot. You're a genius. Thank you.
Why, thank you. I don't know that I'm a genius. I just, I think about things a little differently.
Hello, big dog. Halloween either. Can I use the trench coat I go flashing in? What is it?
You can, yes. But I would work a different neighborhood.
Baby says, yes, the mummy mask is on the way. It'll be here on the 26th. Yes! I am tipping that mummy's house.
Hooray.
Hyena Hoss. Real do. Can I use real leaves and such on the spirit?
Yes, avoid poison ivy.
Chad Smith says, I'm excited. Ghost Ride had a sale on packages. Took advantage and can't wait to get some more amazing products.
Yeah, they got some good stuff.
Her beauty's in the middle of making wings.
Really? That's so awesome.
Mike Chimanowski says, I just want to thank you for taking the time to give your thoughts on our creations on creatures. It makes me try harder. Thanks.
You know what? I'm a little behind, but if I'm tagged on it, I'll see it faster. I try like once or twice a week to just, I social media a little bit differently than most people. Probably 2 hours of my day is spent answering questions that I get through social media, whether that is YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, email, all that. I get a lot of questions on social media. So all of my social media time is spent answering questions. Now the upside is I don't hate people because I don't have to scroll through social media. Where, of course, if you do that, you learn to hate humanity. But, so I don't do that. I don't scroll. But I don't see anything unless I'm tagged. I do scroll through the Creepers group about twice a week, but not every day.
Jordan Easel says Cyrus must be able to pull off a great smile. Ron Schultz. I hope I said that right. Ron, apologies.
I believe it's Schweppes.
Schweppes?
I believe it's Schweppes.
All right. Either way, Ron says, about what size should I make the wings for my 9-foot weaving?
Well, if you think about your arm span is the same as your height. Her wingspan should be at least, if she's 9 feet tall, then her wingspan should be at least 9 feet. I would probably do a 5 or 6 foot wing on each side, giving her a 12-foot wingspan. But the bigger you go, the better.
Third degree of terror says no.
Hello, Warren.
Angie Rogers. I hope the creepers loved my post on my local Waffle House decorations. Angie, that was so great. I loved it. Not a fan of Waffle House, but they get my money just for how they decorated in front of their business. That's great. Vegan Doll says, hey, sweetie.
I have a clogged airbrush bottle. That orange is giving me trouble. So I'm putting my air blaster on here. I'm just going to shoot it out of the bottle.
Ashley, NP. Y'all didn't warn me I'd never get Loctite off my hands. Made my 6-year-old a Foxy mask 5 nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And he hasn't taken it off. I made his Halloween, making the animatronic legs next.
That's so awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. That's cool.
Stanley. Hi, Stanley. Corpsing with the Husky drip plastic and heat gun. I noticed after a couple of days the plastic was peeling apart.
It shouldn't be. Heat it up and it should meld together. You want to weld it together with the heat. That's better. Don't spray my phone. That was a bad idea. Oh, better.
Where do you get your life-size skeletons from?
Well, this time of year, Home Depot is a great spot. Lowe's is pretty good. Home Depot is kind of one of the cheapest. They have nice skeletons for not a bad price. So I like them.
Botox Rock says, have you ever redone animatronics from Spirit? I'm thinking about getting the nurse with the spinning head.
No, I haven't. Don't get me wrong. For what I do, because I'm a professional haunted house person, they're a little lower grade, and they won't hold up to the 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 repetitions they have to do in a night. They just won't hold up. I mean, even a lot of the pro stuff won't hold up in that time.
Edson says, kind of silly question that you may have heard before, but while you're airbrushing, you keep rubbing your finger on the outlet. Why?
Okay, so I just did a video on this airbrush, and I give that tip in the video. Right there where those two meet, you can get a little bit of a clog as this air dries that paint. So if you are clogged and you tap right there, you can it'll force the clog out while you're running.
Red Crystal Dragon, with the Harbor Freight one, do you need a separate compressor?
Yes, you need a compressor for any airbrush.
Harvey says, I love the food bottles for paint.
Wife, tell a story.
Oh, gosh.
It's a fast story.
Gosh, come on. Look, come on.
I I go tinkle, have my wife tell a story.
Okay. Gracious.
Drink a lot of fluids.
He drinks a lot of fluids. Okay. Okay. So, keeping Alan alive is kind of what I do. Getting a look. And when Alan and I got married, it was a Saturday. And then Monday morning, I put him in a car and I drove him to where I work to put him on my insurance. He didn't have any insurance. But I wouldn't let him drive because now I had officially and legally invested in him and taken vows before the Lord, which meant that I had to get him insured. And so I drove him 48 hours after we married and put him on my insurance to insure him. Not soon after that, he ran his hand through a table saw, after which, and I know I've told the table saw story before, after which time I took another insurance policy out. So when I make a joke and I say, that he's insured twice, I'm really not kidding. He's totally insured twice. And yeah, I do have some static hair going, Ezekiel. I don't know what's going on today. But yeah, he really is insured twice because I honestly, you never know. So yeah, I get him insured, and I sneak him into a flu shot, make him get a flu shot. Here he comes.
After I get a flu shot, I get to have ice cream.
He gets ice cream.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm behind.
Why? You're so behind.
So behind. Okay. Michael Lassiter, hello. Says, by the way, all my local Harbor Freight stores have moved their airbrushes to the craft section. They are no longer in the pneumatic section.
Yeah, they did move them.
Hello, Jerry Collins. Hannah says, poison ivy it is. Rob O'Brien, please remind us where you got your massive knife for phone cutting.
So if you go to the last video that I did, there's a link to buy that knife on Amazon. I got it from Amazon. It is a foam insulation knife, and it is by one of my favorite knife companies, which is Mora Kniv, which is like, I think they're Finnish. Yes, by way of an Amazon gift card. This was a Christmas present.
Right.
I got this from the Floyd family.
Oh, I love those guys.
I got this knife with my Amazon gift card, and I got this knife with my Amazon gift card. I also like it. And I got this knife with my Amazon. I'm not happy with this. This is not a good knife. But it'll be good for like toast, butter, cinnamon toast. This would be excellent.
Tarantula says, whoops. The animal skeletons with the ears are a guilty pleasure of mine. Big Dog says, Shannon's Kitchen is where you get your knives.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
Hi, Anna Hoss. So I was thinking about showing my face online for content, but I'm afraid to. But I also really want to.
Well, then do it.
Tarantula says, I wonder if you ever saw my painting of you, then I didn't tag you. No, go back and tag it. You'll probably see it.
No, if I'm not tagged, then I don't see it. That's just how my life works, unfortunately.
Thank you for introducing me to underlayment. It's so easy to work with, making ghosts for our tree.
Isn't that cool? It's good stuff.
Jordan says your pumpkin's cleft lip and offset nose kind of hurt my eyes.
That's the plan. That's exactly what I want. Guys, I threw something away and you weren't paying attention and it made noise.
I think it's Frankenstein.
Right. Because that Frankenstein guy, he's shifty.
So that was the plan, to do that to Jordan.
Yeah, too. I want that offset nose and cleft lip to see the Frankenstein monster corner there. The Boris, this dog right close to one that Shannon is petting, he really doesn't like that Frankenstein.
It's okay.
So
I'm scared.
he any noise that I make that he didn't see, Like I threw something in the garbage, it made a noise, and he's like, "Oh, that Frankenstein is moving. I know
It's not Frankenstein, it's
it." Yeah,
okay.
yeah, he's very alarmed.
All right. Let's see. Dead End Yard Haunt. Try using Loctite for hair gel. That's fun. Kane the Crafter. Did y'all get rain or wind from Hurricane Delta? Our home haunt got destroyed. Oh, not enough time for this season to rebuild, but we will make something better for next season. I'm so sorry to hear that. We did not get any rain or wind, Kane. We are too far north.
So listen, anytime your home haunt gets destroyed, you are one projector away from having a kaiju haunted house. Like, you know, if your neighbor would let you project like Godzilla up on the side of their house, then you could say he did all this destruction, you know, have a kaiju haunted house. So while it's terrible, look for opportunities.
Hello, Cobwebs says hello. Boris is growling at the Frankenstein. Chad says, nice to see the phone survive the pumpkin toss from YouTube Wednesday.
Of course it did.
Horror Beauty says that she has a Halloween wine for me. I am all ears, Horror Beauty. You have my attention. Third degree of terror. Alan, I ended up putting screen mesh in the eyes of my pumpkin face mask. You were right, as usual.
I just think it adds to the look. I think it adds to the look.
Chad Smith says, I keep missing your lives. I'm going to have to catch one. Two.
You're-
That was impressive. Sorry, guys. Let me talk to you. Baba Di is happy to see you.
Happy to see you.
Body Geek says, greetings and salutations. Body Geeks, we will see you next weekend.
Yeah.
Robert White says that you are just a kid at heart. Todd Daughtery, just found your channel yesterday. So stoked, you guys are awesome.
Hi, Todd. Thank you for hanging out with us.
59 Mars, Mary C. I actually thought that was a heated knife or something. Cut through that pool noodle like warm butter. By the way, I love the pool noodle pumpkin.
It's a nice knife for foam. I have really enjoyed it.
Edson says I have a huge life insurance policy too.
Because we make poor decisions.
Heidi Naha says, I guess I'm afraid something bad is going to happen, talking about putting content on here. Mike Chesnowski, I forgot how you thin contact cement.
Xylene. Xylene is the name of the chemical that you thin contact cement with.
Celeste Kitty, hello. I'm surprised my husband doesn't have me insured. I've been to the hospital 8 times in the last month. Not related. Been coughing up a lung for 4 days, and I splashed boiling water on myself today. Wow.
Great job.
Baba Daza says, every video I watch is Alan doing something dangerous and telling us not to do it that way.
Yes, at least I have a consistent theme. YouTube tells me that's important to get viewers.
Celeste Kitty says, the night is still young and he bought me a handsaw, so I might have to add that list this month. Buddy Geek says, I close on the property tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
That's awesome. Man.
Awesome. Body Geeks, I'm super proud for you. That is exciting. Michael Lester says, Bob Cole does a Kaiju Haunted House.
He does.
6-string Slayer Guitar Man. Hey Alan, what areas on a 2-part or even 1-part mold are prone to getting mold blocks? And how can I avoid them? And especially, how to avoid mold blocks on open mouths with teeth?
Okay, that's not going to lock you. Okay, that's not going to be what locks you up. If it's clay, it's not going to lock the mold. What you have to worry about is stone on stone locking the mold. If your mold wall is made weird, or if I'm trying to find one of my head forms that has this particular problem. On one, it's very prevalent. It must be in the other room. I'll show it to you here. Okay. When you are doing a 2-piece mold, there is a mold line on this guy that you can kind of see. But if you go, like, if you cut the head in half, and do this for your mold wall. You think that might be good, but that would not be good. That would actually cause a lock, or could cause a lock, because these shoulders are really curved. So there's a lot of bite. There's a lot of bite that happens here. So this part of the mold can't go straight back and off because it has grip. So you have to move this mold wall up here. That's the halfway point. It is the highest point along that shoulder line. This will come right off. This will not. So this is one of the biggest areas that people lock up on a mold. A lot of people are worried about undercuts and stuff on latex masks, on like wet clay sculptures. It's not a problem. Like, the clay is very forgiving, the latex is very forgiving. Not a big deal.
Chad Smith says, I know you're busy and filling orders, but when is sculpting back on the agenda?
Probably next Wednesday.
Hey, Lanny, he says, how was Alan's trip up there?
It was very nice, actually. I enjoyed myself. I went to North Carolina, that's what he's referencing, and I worked at the Woods of Terror Haunted House, one of my favorite little haunts. Not little at all, actually.
Did you also deliver a costume training?
Yes, I did some actor training while I was there, which you guys might have seen a snippet of.
Can you explain what the training was?
So the training that I showed you guys a snippet of was one that I call hyena training, because I got there and I went through Friday night and I just saw that there wasn't quite the intensity. The actors were doing cool things, but they weren't involving the patrons. So the hyena training, it starts with, you divide your class into two groups, and then you pretend there's a dead zebra in the middle, and then you have one group come up and you say, you guys are hyenas, and you're going to come up and you're going to have a feeding frenzy on this dead zebra. And the other group just watches. And you do that once. And then you have them do it again. But in the middle of it, I will call out, and you notice the other group of hyenas who wants to steal your kill. So instead of doing something scary on your own, then you have intent and focus, and you're defending your zebra from them who obviously want to take it. And then what you guys saw a snippet of was, you go through several stages of the exercise. That is working on the intensity, ferocity, and awareness, because there's two groups of hyenas, one dead zebra. You have to make sure you're feeding, and while you're feeding, you're out there scaring. You have to make sure that your den is defended, or else other hyenas will come and steal your cubs. And it's an awareness exercise. Who is winning at the corpse? If they have 5 people back in their den, and you look around and you have 15 people in your den, they're winning at the zebra corpse because they have just more bodies there. You know, so that's something that you have to be aware of. And there's this balance. But if you can't stay out in the middle very long, because I expect a certain level of intensity, and if you drop in intensity, you know, that's why you go out there, you scare for maybe 30 seconds, and then you go back to your den for a little bit. But you have to go in cycles and know who is doing what. And that's so important for a haunted house actor to know who is on break, where's the group coming from. All these things that haunt actors have to know. I'm going to do a rub out on this guy because the person who bought this asked for it to be darkened up a little bit. So I'm going to darken it up a little. How was that explanation, wife?
That was good. Todd Daughtery says you should run a little contest and the winner gets a mask made of their own face. Zombified, made on the live stream.
Well, that's a lovely idea. It sounds like a lot of work for me.
Angie Rogers says, I'm going to make Halloween cat doll. If the stuff gets here soon, she will have a purple hair. Scuba Steve says, hello. Hauntings by Design says, I see I'm late, but hello.
You're late. What the heck? We were talking about you.
Platten says, Winds of Terror has a lot of my old props.
Cool.
Hyena Hoss says, I need to show those people a thing or two about me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Lisa Arden says, hello, good evening.
It's hard when you're a person.
Did you ever make the Hordak mask?
I haven't made a Hordak yet. I haven't yet. I have the plans.
Angie says, go make stuff that's helped me at work and in my projects. Post on Creepers ASAP. I'm waiting on it from China. So
Awesome.
Just Rudy, hello. 1980, hi. I know you've been busy. I sent you a couple of videos in TikTok. One is perfect idea for a man, for a man who faces.
Manny faces, yeah.
Faces.
I will look at that. I haven't hopped on TikTok in a little while. I was going to do some TikTok content this week.
Celeste Kitty says, I noticed you have some extra airbrush kits. And I have no airbrush kits, Alan. You could do a contest to win one. I too like airbrush kits.
First thing you should note is that there's no such thing as extra airbrush kits. Like they're all going to be used eventually.
That's Celeste Kitty. That's funny.
That is funny.
I too like airbrush kits. Chad Smith, were you a Wolfman at the haunt this past weekend? If not, what did you pick?
I gave them that as an option, but they picked Carl Cleaver, who's a character that I play sometimes. I brought 3 characters, and they wanted Carl. It was terrible weather, so it's probably better Carl weather than it was Wolfman weather.
Say hello to Masato K.
Hello, Masato K. This is a rub out that I'm doing. It is alcohol and ink, and then I rub it off.
Chad says, what, no video?
What it does, darken.
Carl watched.
Oh yeah.
I don't think there was any video, was there?
I didn't take any. I try not to leave evidence of Carl.
Just Rudy. I got all 3 parts nearly completed sculpting, and I almost said it was finished prematurely, but I stopped myself. I should be ready to mold all 3 very soon. I'm excited.
Nice, man. I'm happy about that.
Fred saying, what kind of stain do you use when corpsing a skeleton, or paint do you use?
Well, I either use wood stain, like an oil-based wood stain, or I use, if I'm not using an oil-based wood stain, Wife Werewolf is ready to go. If I don't use a wood stain, then spray paint is pretty common too. I really like spray paint. Okay. Let's see if our pumpkin's dry.
Mark Ray says
No.
hello.
Hello, Mark Ray.
Pumpkinhead is on AMC tonight.
Awesome. I do want to get this gibbering Mallard at some point. And I will probably do a dry brush on this board here.
Okie Dale says hello.
Okie Dale?
139 people are watching. That dog right on.
I know. I thought this guy was all ready to go, but he has not been strapped.
Who's he from?
He's not. I've never made one. Be nice.
I am caught up, Ezekiel. That was tough. I got behind. Sato says, is it weird that I don't like horror movies, but I like monsters?
I like monster movies. I don't like horror movies. I don't want to see other people kill people. I can see that on CNN.
Abdel Von Grace says, sorry I'm late. I always enjoy live ones. Ken Zarish says, watching the end of Trick or Treat.
Hooray! Love us some trick or treat.
Big dogs off to bed. Gonna make the bed liner statues tomorrow.
Awesome.
Hyena Hoss says, what about monsters killing people?
Yeah, I like that. That's cool. I don't mind it.
6 strings Slayer guitar man. Can you get by with one strap on half mask, or should you always have two?
I prefer two. I think that one kind of makes a pivot point, and if you put on only one, then you always put it on the temples, and that's not the most comfortable space to support a mask. So I like two. I like to spread it out, and it doesn't make a pivot point. I think I have to strap this guy. That's going to annoy me.
Do you ever get around to watching Blood Diner? If so, did you want to?
Not yet. Again, with the whole social media thing, I don't have a lot of time to watch movies or TV. So,
Hey Rogers, I put a latest gremlin on your creepers page. Look when you get time. I would like one if it's not going to be a copyright issue.
sweet.
Ezekiel says, Shannon, my wizard baker friend, has had to go at making her own version of Tim Tams. She just dropped off a white chocolate and orange filling. It says, goddamn, big little, I wish I could send you some. Oh, that's awesome. Jerry Collins would like to know how's the weather.
The weather seems to be nice. Yeah, it was what, like 75 today? It was
It's hot.
It was rather lovely.
It's gonna cool down again, so it's nice. It's supposed to be very nice next weekend, which is important. Next weekend, you know what we're doing.
We're doing Monster Camp.
Yes.
Yeah, love Monster Camp.
All right, guys, so be ready.
Very
Chad-
excited about Monster Camp.
Chad Smith says, do the Hobsons have any Halloween plans?
No, like Halloween comes and goes, we don't even know it happened. Yes, we do, of course. Halloween plans? No. Halloween traditions and plans to just generally enjoy Halloween? Yes.
Honestly, we might just fall over.
Yeah, we could nap. That would be
We
lovely.
could do like Ed and Marcia. And just pass out. Let's see, 1980 says, a pig and monkey calling him bacon wrap. Oh my God. Justin Ruby, had the doggos gotten too used to the life-size Frankenstein yet?
Not entirely. They are better with it, but they are not entirely done.
Todd Doddering, how old were you when you found your calling as a mask maker and prop maker? And how did you get started?
Well, I found my calling doing haunted houses, okay? And that I found at 10 years old. And through haunted houses, I learned mask making because I needed to. So, how'd I get started? Making masks, just the masks that were out, you couldn't see or breathe out of them very well.
Will car paint acrylic enamel work to spray on a latex mask?
No, because cars don't have any stretch. Anything enamel isn't going to have a stretch. Enamel means it's going to, as a paint, it's going to make a hard shell. And that hard shell is very prone to cracking if it flexes even a little bit. So you do not want to use that on a mask.
Skin and Bones, how did the hyena training go?
The whole training went very well. I saw benefits from hyena training specifically, like that very night we were open.
Maybe training the next day.
Yeah, then I did a training on Sunday too.
Scott Goldberg says, I can't wait for next weekend.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
Buddy Geek says, I'm going to Haunted Overload the Thursday after Monster Camp 7. I will be back on Halloween.
Cool.
Fred Saint says, so I made some of your candles for a haunt I'm working at. I I used hard lump charcoal to cover my imperfections and create a burn look. So thanks.
Awesome.
Javier Haas, do you have any, oh gosh, sorry. Do you have any forced spirit-like masks in the store? I'm in the student film club in school and would love to get one.
I do not have one like that. I think that you're speaking about the white face kind of with antlers and rags and stuff hanging down. If you just watch my, I pimp a scarecrow mask from Spirit, they're so easy to make yourself. That's one I highly recommend. You know, just get a nice white blank mask and make you one.
Angie Rogers says, my cat doesn't like things that smile. She hisses and sniffles.
Awesome.
Ezekiel says, something just fell out of the drawer. I hope the dogs don't decide to eat it.
It is Velcro.
Tarantula, that foam head with the purple nose and cheeks looks like it just got punched in the face.
Next time, it should just make the sandwich.
Horror Beauty says, I love the vein on the foam head. Hello, Creative Spark.
The baby on the foam head?
The veining.
Oh, the veining. That was from my airbrush class. That was, someone did that in the airbrush class.
Richard Gladden, what if the latex mask is rigid foam filled and does not need to stretch? Would enamel paint be okay for that?
I don't know what's in your enamel. It could be something that actually eats the latex. So I still would not use it because there's chemicals in there. There's heavy solvents in it. And I would not use that on latex.
Creative Spark says you're a mask, so you're cool.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Ken Zarish says it's Bebop.
This could be Bebop if I went that direction. And I'm not even sure of exactly what I'm going to do with this guy yet. But I wanted to do another pig mask that was not a regular pig. I wanted to do a wild boar.
Says a forest spirit could be made off of the Heptaron mask.
That's a little more detailed. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. I have no idea why that style of mask is so popular. I just don't think they're a good look. But you know, honestly, a blankety blank mask. They're normally off of just a regular white face mask, and they're painted white.
Just Rudy, I noticed that latex helps with my teeth forming. Last time I did my back too much, almost with water consistency. Is that bad or not a problem other than prolonged dwelling time?
It actually weakens your latex quite a bit, so I'd be very careful about that. What happens is the latex has a lot of water in it, and that water evaporates. And there's chemical voids. There's, you know, like molecular voids in your latex. So it's just not as strong, and it can rip like paper.
1980, I found a Jimmy Drop Spider green black. I'm half tempted to rework it for next year. The carnivore would be an easy force creature.
Yeah, carnivore would be a very good mask for that. I don't know if I have a carnivore ready to go or not. But yeah, look at my carnivore mask, and I actually do I do a pumpkin mask over it, but I guess that could turn into just a blank white mask.
Chad Smith, do you recall several years ago a vendor that used to sell cheap price face masks for haunts? They only covered the face and the front of the ears.
I mean, I sell half masks that do that. You might mean Tom something. He was on Face Off, and he had a company called something 13, Studio 13 or Warehouse 13, or 13, 13, 13, 13, 13 effects, one of those. And he had, they were very small face masks. Okay, that's way better.
Tarantula says, make my board skull bebop. And I think it would be possible for you to get a rhino skull. Creative Spartan says, you inspired me to make more haunting ideas.
Yes, the world needs more haunting ideas.
Richard Glad says, the top. And Warmonger says, for the last 3 days, I've been doing minor repairs on a very large crucifix in a local Catholic church. Oddly, it's very unnerving being that close to a double-sized Jesus.
Yeah.
Body Geek says, oh, I must be off in the forest spirit. I was thinking wood spirits and the woody version I was wondering.
Well, I don't know if it's from something or what, but there's a quadruped stilt costume called a forest spirit, and it's very popular. People love it. I don't understand why. Because I'm old. Yeah.
Chad Smith says, I'm not looking to buy one. I have started making those types of masks. A friend told me a guy used to sell them, and he sold out every year at the shows. Is that Andy Wright's?
No.
Since he isn't around, I thought I would try. But you know what I'm talking about, Andy Wright's
Yeah.
style of mask and how he does very well with that. Justin Rooney, is there any reason you attach the straps so far to the mask and not on the edge?
That's probably a bit of a leftover from doing leather work, because if you put holes in leather like within closer than half an inch, they could rip through. It could pull through. So I go about an inch in. I like to go an inch in with my straps. This is the first one of these I've ever painted. I'm very excited. And Robert, who sculpted this, just got married this week. Very happy for him.
Robert also did the COVID video.
Yeah, he did the editing and camera work on my COVID haunted house training video. That came out recently, and we're working on a mask making DVD that we'll do here soon.
The Creative Spartan says the mask on the left is cool. Fred Sam says, what's your favorite effects from your haunts that you've made? As in, what are you most proud of?
I think I'm most proud of my cast. So I know that's not an effect, but it does take quite a bit of training, and it takes having the right culture in order to have, a solid cast like that. So probably the cast is who I'd say I'm most proud of. And then I think we do some amazing costumes at Dark Hour. We've had some really good effects from simulated explosions and gunshots, and we do a lot of cool stuff, man. I mean, it's hard to just pick one favorite. We do a lot of stuff.
Jessica Kishocho. Love your work. I'm working on a creature for my yard and was stuck, but read into your videos and have been hooked.
Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that.
Aaron M., good evening. I hope all is well. Hey, Aaron. Hyena Hoss has to head out, says have fun. John C. says Tom Devlin, 1313 FX.
That's it, Tom Devlin.
Body Geeks, FYI, liquid nails over Loctite foam stay somewhat flexible, like foam rubber.
Yes, but it's a good hard coating though. It's a nice hard coat. A lot of the hard coats, even like urethanes, they don't make like a hard shell, because that would crack too easy. Because what's underneath of it it's something that's going to flex a little bit. So the coating has to flex a little bit too. Liquid nails does not get hard like fiberglass gets hard. It gets hard like Well, I don't know what it gets hard like, but it's hard. I mean, it's a good hard coat. It's a good protectant for the phone.
Paulzilla X says howdy. I'm listening to Sculpting and Oogie Boogie Mask.
Awesome.
Terry Ray, I am reading the chat. If you have something that you would like to say, I'll be happy to read it for
Yes,
you.
that's what my wife is. She's reading all the comments, so I can get them and hear them and respond.
Ezekiel says, is there any flocking for the swine?
I don't know. I don't know yet. I haven't done finishing on this guy. They're not that hairy, so I would think no. But we still have to see, don't we? I'm going to let this dry, and then I will go to the next one.
Night, Michael Lassner.
Good night, Michael Lassner.
Justin Ruby, sorry to ask so many questions. They say you learn something every day, and today I have learned very little, so I'm using you to fill the void. Terry Ray says, I'm 10 and I was wondering, how do I make a wired Halloween decoration? Hey Terry.
A wired?
Wired Halloween decoration.
Wired as in electricity, or wired as in it supports itself with wire?
Ted Dodry, what's your favorite monster movie, either for the movie or the artistic influence?
I'm thinking. So there's a lot of movies that like redefine things. In all honesty, I'm pretty old school. I'd probably have to say like Golden Voyage or Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. Those are excellent. For just the creature work in them, the design. I'm not a fan of noodle arms, but I still love Medusa and the Kraken, even though they don't have elbows. And of course, the Cyclops is one of my favorites. And then Kraken, Cyclops, Medusa. Medusa is one of my favorite movie monsters, just hands down. You have to love King Kong. And then, like Hellraiser, that really changed what people thought of as far as monster design. And it's influenced so many, the look has influenced so many things. At Woods of Terror, I was just there. It's a haunted house in North Carolina. And even if you look at social media, you can see a little bit of this. But there is a Hellraiser-esque aesthetic with a lot of their walk-around outside personas that I don't think would be around today if that movie had it been what it did and explored the ground that it did.
Creative Spartan says I made your placker gloves. They work amazingly. Terry
Awesome.
Ray is 10 years old. He says, an electrical wired Halloween lights out of LEDs. How do I make that?
Okay, so I have a video called LED Spotlights. It's on my YouTube channel, and you're on it right now. And I buy what they call pre-wired LEDs because they already are wired up. You don't have to do any soldering, which I think is lovely because I have giant hands and they don't do that type of detail work very well. So I use the pre-wired LEDs for that. And you get super bright LEDs from a company called Lighthouse LEDs. All of this is in that video, by the way. You can wire them up to either 9-volt batteries or to a power supply. I go over all that in the video. It's actually pretty simple. What you have to do is you have to make sure that you can get power to where the LEDs are. They don't take a lot. And make sure that there's a nice socket to hold the LED.
Stone Farmer says, will you be using bacon-scented paint?
No.
A.G. Rogers, you remind me so much of my Uncle Dave. He owns a video store. A lot about horror movies.
Hooray, Uncle Dave.
Know Your Joe says, good night. Thanks again for doing what you do. You're awesome. Aaron
Thank you.
M. says, Great Harryhausen was amazing. I loved his films.
Yeah.
Sean Davies, I've struggled with trying to light my home haunt scenes. Do you have any simple tricks for lighting, theory, philosophy for creating a spookier look.
Yes. Okay. So first off, don't be afraid to go darker. A lot of people, they want to do really awesome lighting and they overlight. And I think overlighting is one of the main problems that we have. So you want to have a direct light of some kind, and I highly recommend blue or green, and that's a floodlight that's going to be pretty far away from what you're lighting. And basically it kind of normally like a 25 or 50 watt bulb in one of those big clamp lights will be plenty for that wash light. And so there's that light, and then you want to highlight a few things with cross light. So you'll have the blue or the green on them just a little bit, but then you can highlight with little pops of color, something that contrasts that, like orange or red or yellow. And I find that works pretty well. But not from the same direction that the blue light is coming. If the blue light is coming straight on, then you want to cross light and have that light come up from a different angle or down from a different angle. I tried to uplight a lot of things because that's a little spookier than downlighting, because the sun downlights everything all the time. We're very used to it. It actually takes our brains a second to process, a longer second to process uplighting, because very few things emit light that shoots up.
1980 says Hellraiser probably was responsible for puzzle boxes becoming so popular.
Yeah.
Tarantula says, I love the Hellraiser aesthetic and general concept. I feel like Hellraiser deserves better movies and more screen time.
Yeah.
Chad Smith, you get an unlimited budget to redo any monster creature feature film practically in your design. Which
Can I do a haunted house instead?
use the money for that?
Yeah, I want to use the money for a haunted house because that would be awesome.
Go ahead.
Because, unlimited budget for a movie, you're talking $300 million. And if you could do a haunted house on a $300 million budget, phenomenal.
Stone Farmer says, I made the LED spots last year for our haunt using Alan's technique. It worked great.
I will tell you that LED spotlight video gets me more free drinks at haunted houses than anything else.
If you don't drink.
And I don't really drink.
Stone Farmer says, Sean Davies, I love the LED video. You make it accessible to everyone.
Even 10-year-olds who are way more motivated than I was at 10 years old.
And with that, Terry says, bye, thanks for the help.
Happy to help.
Justin Rudy, may not agree, but personally, Pumpkinhead, Alien, and Predator, I think, are probably my favorite monster creatures. I've always liked the monsters from the Geiger movies in the early 90s.
I agree. I agree with you completely. I think those are great. Those are very iconic looks.
Dave Jennings, hi. Is latex stretchy enough to use for a talking skull face? I've worked with silicone, but would love your input. If it would work with latex, like should I sculpt with an open mouth?
Yes. Okay. But if you sculpt with a closed mouth, and then you use your servo or whatever it is to open the mouth, then you have an automatic return. You don't have to hinge that with a rubber band because the latex will do that for you. Keep your latex very thin. I wouldn't do anything over like, even 1/8 of an inch is going to be really thick for a servo. So I wouldn't go any thicker than like 1/8 of an inch. And when you sculpt it, you have to give it areas to fold and give the latex places to go. So lots of wrinkles and stuff. So that latex can kind of accordion on itself and spread that stress out. But then, also, I would look at using surgical tubing latex or balloon latex. Those two kinds of latex are stretchier than casting latex, which is what we make latex masks out of.
What is your favorite music band?
Probably Bon Jovi. I'm not like the biggest music guy ever, but I do enjoy music, and I like Bon Jovi's music. I like every song Bon Jovi's ever done. except for the B side of Never Say Goodbye, which is a song called Prostitute, and it's just not a good song.
Dave Jennings was asking about the stretching of latex. He also added, or elastic added in the corners of the mouth. I think you already answered that.
Yeah.
Justin Rudy, I think you should make a Godzilla-inspired mask just because of how many people ask you if you've ever made one.
That's probably true.
Hawkeye79, thanks for the Super 77 idea for the pumpkin stem texture on the foam pumpkins. It worked amazing.
Yeah?
Recommendations for paint. Spray paint, perhaps? What is the best color?
Boy, I just picked a color that's I don't know. I like the FX paint, the 2X paint, I mean, this stuff, 2X, Rust-Oleum. I'm slowly falling out of love with Home Depot. I find them not having what I'm looking for, and they have limited their spray paint selection quite a bit. There's actually more of a spray paint selection at Walmart now than there is at Home Depot, and I find that to be sad. And Lowe's has a better spray paint selection. I find myself in Home Depot more still out of habit, so I'll probably start going somewhere else for spray paint. Specific colors, no, I don't know a lot. But I do also, there's a paint you have to order. It's called Design Master, and that's one of my favorite spray paints in the whole world. Especially there's a color called Glossy Wood Tone, which looks great, smells great. This is Glossy Wood Tone by Design Master. This is good. There's another kind that I like too. It's called Movie Paint, okay? Movie Paint. This is nicotine spray. It's about 10 bucks a can. It's worth every penny. It's very translucent, but it adds this nice yellow aging to things.
Angie Rogers, wonder how many people are going to be doing the virus mask this year. Probably a lot.
I don't know what you mean by the virus.
John Davies says, thank you for the great tips. I'll give it a shot. Paul Bennett says hello.
Hello, Paul Bennett.
Ron Schwoltz is heading home. He says good night.
Good night, sir.
He says, by the way, it's pronounced Sheps.
Sheps.
No worries. Thank you, Ron.
Sheps, not
Sheps.
Schweppes.
Sheps.
Sheps. I'm going to get better at that.
I do want to try and say people's names correctly, so I appreciate you telling me.
Now, in my head, you look like Shep, one of the Three Stooges. I guess 4 or 5 Stooges by that point.
Shep.
There's not a Shep?
No, Shep. With an M.
Oh.
Dan McCorson says hello. Aaron M says that's a perfect mask to watch while I'm painting Cthulhu grandfather.
One day you'll find it. Cthulhu's grandfather.
Happy Exterior says I just want to stop by and say thank you for all the great ideas. Keep the great content coming and stay safe.
Hooray, thank you.
Chad Smith says, okay, Alan, you get to redesign a creature from a movie for a month, not the wolf man. That's too easy for you.
Okay. Movie called The Relic. And the monster is named Cathoga. How Cathoga works is that Cathoga is made because it mixes up DNA. So you could have several different looking, all monsters that are all Cathoga, but because it has different DNA in it each time, it looks different. So I would love to do a Cathoga monster that is, you know, half Gharial, well, part Gharial, part Howler monkey, and maybe Fer-de-Lance viper. Like I think in gecko. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be a cool looking monster, in my opinion. And I'm just hitting all the whites on the eyes and teeth of this, and that's taking a while. Do the mouth down here too.
Creative Spartan says, amazing graveyard statues. They're amazing, so quick and easy.
Oh, I'm so happy about that. I love it.
Zika says Hops has impeccable music taste. The Darkest Night Amusements. I always like the set design and creatures of the movies House and House 2.
Yeah, that's good. And you know what? I actually wouldn't mind doing Troll or Troll 2. And you know what? You know what else would be fun? Ghoulies. Wouldn't a new Ghoulies be fun with reboot and you know, a little bit less 80s in those monsters? I think that'd be really nice.
Josh Newman says hello.
Hello, Josh Newman.
Victor Sleep says a lot of great info tonight. Thank you. James Minnick says hello.
Hello, James Minnick.
Enigma. Hey, Alan, is there a good way to embed electronics in a latex foam bust without sculpting a spot for them?
Yeah, you do all your wiring before you make it a foam bust. Do all your wiring on the inside, and then you foam it. And the foam just makes a nice encasement around it. Or you can look up hot balling. Hot balling is a technique for running wiring inside of houses with EPS foam insulation, where you heat up a ball bearing with a torch until it gets red hot, and then you can go up on the top floor of the house and drop it, and it melts all the way through the foam, and then that's how they run their wiring. So I'm sure that a technique similar to that could be adapted for mask use. If the only industry that you're looking at when you are thinking of your field is your field, then I think you're going to miss a lot.
Angie was asking about the mask, how many people are going to be using the virus mask or should have the COVID mask. So I guess she meant the mask.
Oh yeah, I mean that's super common already. I mean, most haunted houses, their actors have to wear masks already too. A lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon of making masks that go over top of the N95 masks. And while I think that's great, the amount of ventilation that someone needs for that to work is crazy. And I haven't seen anybody yet successfully do a latex mask with enough ventilation.
Rob O'Brien, if you have a wholesale flooring supply place, you can usually get design master from there.
Yes, you're correct.
Paul Bennett, where you get the spray paint at? I assume it's in a craft store.
Could someone please tell Paul Bennett I buy mine from Amazon?
Raphael Amaya, hi to the both of you. My kids and I love your videos and are trying to make the things you do. Keep up the awesome work you do, and thanks for your videos.
That is so kind. Thank you so much. Tell your kids I said hello. And I'm proud of them for making stuff.
James Minnick says, I like your Halloween masks, Alan.
Thanks, James. You are very supportive. I think you say that to me every time that I am on, and I appreciate it every time.
Nicholas says, fill a blending edge. It's just Prozaid and Cabasil. That's it?
Correct. And that is called Cabo Patch. And Cabasil, there's another product very similar called Fumed Silica, which is very close to the same thing.
Kim says, hello. I'm going to try making a spider out of expandable for this weekend. Are there any pointers?
No, just get to it. Spider legs, I like pool noodles. Depends on the size of your spider. I actually just helped someone with that, where we made a, well, this one's much taller, isn't it? Let's do this. We made a, I had her pick a silhouette of a spider, because she wanted to do a very specific looking spider, and I sent her this sheet with all these silhouettes, and she said I wanted them 8 foot. So then I just went in Photoshop, and I blew up that spider silhouette she liked on a grid, and then that told her how big the body sections need to be, how big the leg sections need to be. It really helped give her a lot of information.
6-string Slayer Gun Man, Guitar Man. Do all full head masks need a slit cut of the back of the neck, or can you get away with no cut? Also, do you have to seal the paint on the masks?
Okay? It depends on the sculpt. It depends on how much room there is in the neck. No. Does every mask need one? No. If I make one on my head, I have a 21.5 inch neck. If I make a mask on my head form, you don't normally have to slit those because they fit over most people's heads just fine because I have a big neck. But if you do it on an Ed head or even worse, a CFX head form, you're going to need a slit in that because they have skinny necks. And you have to fit your head through its neck. And there's going to be some shrinkage. Like Atlantic Ocean levels of shrinkage.
Not have that mask on the website yet.
No, this mask is not yet on the website. No, neither one of these is really on the website.
No, they're not. Hard exactly.
I'm painting the first ones of each of these, and this will be my painting standard, and then Shannon can take pictures, and we'll add them to the website.
What would you do for a costume for this mask too? Not more. Yeah.
Honestly, I would do robes, like you're I would do robes on it, and like it's like a Cthulhu type cultist, and daggers, you know, get a nice belt dagger or something. So do it like a cultist. I think that it would be a lovely, that's the easiest way to go. Cultist robes.
1980 says, I get the relic and mimic confused. Mimic is an evolved roach.
Yes, yeah, it's bugs. Guillermo del Toro did Mimic. And I really enjoy Mimic, but I think he hit the nail on the head with that design. I think that there's more places to go with Relic.
Wishing Paul Bennett good luck. He has to go to the hospital tomorrow for a vascular vein test.
Awesome. I hope you do well.
Tarantula says when you take the 80s out of things, you end up with Cats 2019.
Well, there is that, yes.
Captain Marga, hey Leah. Late to the party, internet issues. Looking forward to seeing this finished out.
Me too.
Good night, Dead End Yard Haunt.
Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 9:09 p.m.
I feel like I'm moving very slow tonight, but I am working on a lot. I finished one mask already, and I'm willing to bet the pumpkin I'll do next. So my second layer of dry brush on him, and then I'll be ready to do some light color.
What time did you go to bed?
I went to bed at 7 a.m.
Okay. So Creative Spartan says, I made your drawer panel last year for my home haunt. So many people were scared.
Awesome, I love that.
Your drop panel.
That's awesome.
Fred Sam says, where can you get these spray at?
Which spray?
Spray paint?
Um,
Is that right, Fred?
the Design Master spray paint, I normally get it from Amazon, or Dick Blick Art Supply, or a floral supply company. See how those screens, they blend in a lot more now? I was able to hit those with the brown dry brush the same way. I'll still be able to see through them. And boar actually have these pits on their face. And yeah. Let's let him dry off to the side. Let's get the pumpkin over here.
Anthony Pantano says, sweet project. Angie Rogers, I've seen a guy with an oxygen in a can you can put under your mask when you need air. It's a lot of work. He's not moving very fast.
Yeah, that, yes.
Dan McCorson, I just watched the newest Silent Hill movie. I got a lot of great set ideas for next year's haunt. I think the town of Hellwick Hollow is probably getting a big upgrade next year. My brain never stops. That's awesome, Dan. I hope that since you got to open this year, I hope your haunt is going well. And things are going well. We did not get to open, but I'm glad you did. And I love the picture that you sent us, by the way. You can see your cast and your inbred mask family. It looks great.
Very cool. I loved it.
That's very cool. Aaron M., could you remove a strip of latex from the top of the mask and put mesh netting for hot air release?
You can. I normally cut holes anywhere the public can't see. So like on this mask, I would cut holes behind the ears. I would cut holes behind these big cheekbones. It's ventilation, ventilation, ventilation. That is the answer. It's like location, 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 but it's ventilation, ventilation, ventilation.
Body Geek says his kitten just came in to check out what you were doing. Send him here, Body Geeks. I'll take care of that kitten. Tim says, thank you for the intel, sir. Shadow of a Name. Just found you a couple of weeks ago. I love your channel. Thank you for going live. I love your lady commentator in the room with you. Happy Halloween.
Yeah, she's hot.
All right, that's... Thank you, Shadow of a Name. That's a great name.
That's my wife.
Enigma says, is the Wendigo usually a deer skull or another animal skull?
Okay. So, Wendigo has changed. All right, Wendigos never used to have antlers. Like, that wasn't a thing. The antlered Wendigo came about maybe 20 years ago now, but there used to be a Marvel character, and I guess there still is, called Wendigo, who is this big white furry beast. One of my favorite Marvel characters. But the popular version of a Wendigo now has deer antlers. Why a Wendigo that is a carnivorous evil spirit would have deer antlers, I have no idea. It makes no sense to me. I think a Wendigo is a white creature because they're from the snow. I think there's blood all over their mouth, and I think they're very gaunt and thin because they're always insatiably hungry. That is part of their lore. The antlers are an aesthetic that were added in the past 20 years or so, and it being a deer skull. Deers are not carnivorous. I don't understand. Cats and dogs living together. Mass hysteria. There you go.
Great.
That's my take on Wendigos.
Six Strings, Slayer Guitar Man. Thanks, Alan. What about sealing the paint on a mask?
Oh.
Did or not?
You asked if it was necessary. Is it necessary? No. Is it helpful and a good thing to do? Yes. Those are two different things. I normally use Liquitex Clear Gloss Varnish for I use Liquitex Clear Gloss Varnish for my sealing.
Richard Gladden says, reference the Village movie for a costume.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad
Village is
costume.
good. John C. Alan, did Rob name the deer skull mask? Name it Bad Venison.
That is an amazing name. Wife, write that down.
Where's the mask?
I've got him in here.
Oh, okay. Say, I don't even see him anymore.
I've got a couple blanks. I've got one poured up.
Will you continue to do your live chats after Halloween? Do you work on masks and tutorials year-round?
Yes. This is my living. I do this quite a bit, and I enjoy it. And I have been live since March, so it's not really, and I was live before that, but not as often. Really with COVID, I kicked it up and I just said, you know what I can do? I can make content. No matter what I can't do, I can make content. No matter what I can't do, I can give someone an alternative of something to watch in the evenings that is positive and fun.
Botox Rocks has to take the dog for a walk. Aaron M. says, Cthulhu Cultist is my plan for this creature with my own Dunwich horror.
Cool. Dash what?
Dunwich?
Oh, Dunwich Horror. Yep.
Justin Rudy. When you paint your first mask for your website photos, do you have any formula to picking out how you paint it, or do you use reference material, or simply just paint it the way you want?
I paint it the way I want. And then, in all honesty, when you are a maker like this, I'm actually not painting the mask for the customer. I paint the mask for me the way I think it ought to look. And normally, the customer will say, I like that, but I want you to do, I want this, I want this, I want this. And really, I'm just giving them ideas for how they want their own mask painted, you know? So, yeah.
Angie says that is a kick-ass mask.
Thanks.
Sarish, will you be putting the mohawk on it that boars have? On the boar mask?
No, this is not Bebop. This is not Bebop. This is not Bebop, the boar. I didn't know their names for the longest time, which one was which. But then someone told me the B is for Boar, Bebop, and the R in Rocksteady is for Rhino. That's how you can tell their names apart.
Chad says, I feel the best way for actors to wear masks is on the outside of a Halloween mask.
That's probably the safest. It's the easiest to breathe.
Tina says, okay, Shannon, Alan, Creepers, I was stupid stressed today, so thank you for your videos. Not only great ideas, but very calming. You two and this community are amazing. Good night. Good night, Tina.
Hooray! Thank you. We tried to be calming.
Rob O'Brien says, a leaf and berry nibbling Wendigo.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to break into your house and eat your salads right out of your fridge.
Spastic Vision Film says, I love the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Graffy UK says, I hope you guys are doing well. It's going to be a good day. Hello, Graffy UK.
Dragon Master.
Chad Smith says, not that I don't like these by any means, but hopefully we are busy with building and running our haunts. I miss it.
Yeah. Yeah, I miss it too.
Sixth
It was really nice to just soak in the atmosphere when I was over at Woods of Terror. They have a great atmosphere, and at dark hour we don't have any kind of a midway. We have a parking lot, but it's just different. And when I was at Scream's Halloween Park, we had a midway. It was nice to work a midway again. That was really pleasant. Go ahead, wife.
Sixth String says, thanks for answering all my questions. Your work and channel is a huge inspiration for me.
Happy to help.
I now want to pursue making a living sculpted monster maps as well. Keep up the great work.
Great.
You know. Shannon, do you have a separate YouTube account? I have an account, Baba Daza. I do not post content. Jones.
Her cooking show is probably not going to start until like next year.
No cooking show.
Her YouTube cooking show.
Andrew Brzezinski. Wendigo, like a mummy, someone who did something very bad, is cursed to live forever in pain and agony, cannibalistic and angry with no respite from their curse.
Yep, that's it.
Hello, Finn.
And no matter how much they eat or who they eat, they're still hungry.
Finn Godwolf says hello.
Hello, Finn Godwolf.
Enigma says, thanks for that, Andrew. I saw a demon deer picture on Insta and it made me think Wendigo, but I guess it's not the same.
Well,
Chad.
it is the same now. I mean, like, I'm telling you, Wendigo has changed in the past 20 years. So what Wendigo, people expect Wendigo to look like. In the Inuit legends of Wendigo, deer antlers aren't a thing.
Chad Flyboy. Hey, Chad.
What's up, Chad?
Monster Camp 6.
If I recall, he's working on a new sculpt right now.
Everybody loved that corner. Todd Daughtry, do you dilute the ink in the sprayer? If so, what and how much?
For this, for a wash, yes, I do. Right now, I'm doing what they call a rub out or a wash. It's an antiquing technique. I do dilute it. And let's just say it's 30% ink and 70% alcohol. 70% alcohol is what you can use.
How was the turnout for the North Carolina haunt? Were they busy?
Yes, haunts all over the country are breaking records right now because we're still having an October that is perfect for haunted houses. The way it lines up, there's 2 full moons. There is, Halloween's on a Saturday. I mean, it's a good season for haunts except for all that pesky COVID running around. So yes, most haunts that are open are actually doing really well. As much as they can. Now they're supposed to be limited to 50% capacity. So who knows how that's going. And I hope they're following whatever regulations they're supposed to have.
Do you think you will have your own haunt again one day? Maybe the Haunted Woods idea?
There was a time when I would say no, but now I'm saying yes. And because there's just some little things that I want to do. I don't want to have a haunted house to make money. Like that's not my goal. I want to have a haunted house. Now, I have one built into my retirement plan. There's some things that I have left to do in haunting, ideas that I want to get out of my system, and I kind of have to do those.
Turn the camera on, Jonesy, so we can see.
That's Jonesy the cat. He's checking out the boar mask. Just kind of wondering what's going on with that.
Jones.
Bones Jones. What's up, buddy?
Anthony Pantano says I'm working on some chainmail boot coverings for my armor kit. In a chair says, Alan may be pleased to know that my first homemade costume was Shadow Beaver from She-Ra, so I appreciate his love of He-Man. I love your creativity.
Nice. That's awesome.
Chickens.
Is this the cat show? Is that what we're having now? Hello, Jenkins. Okay.
Okay.
Can I show masks now, honey?
Yeah, you get to that.
Right,
That's important too.
right.
Justin Rudy says, if I have a half mask, is there a way to build neck, shoulders, back, and chest to turn into a bust without sculpting it in clay and molding?
Yep. Get a big foam wig head. Get the biggest one you can, and build it up with spray foam, Loctite. I wouldn't use great stuff. I would use Loctite. Because right now, Loctite foam is my hammer, and every effects project is my nail.
Dan McCorson, I need a DIY body bag video. We made some out of 55-gallon garbage bags that turned out okay, but I need a body bag that will hold up to an actor inside. We tried a real body bag, but the zipper ripped up.
Yeah, no, they're just not meant for that. What I would recommend is that you have to get your own sewn. You got to sew them together. And you need to get a zipper. They have big zippers at Tandy Leather. They also have zipper by the foot that you can buy online. You'll have to buy the tool to set the zipper up. And I would sew it out of heavy duty pleather. I actually have a character that I want to do that is when the COVID started happening and I was making plans, I was going to build a character that's a zombie who woke up inside the body bag. So I think we're thinking along similar lines. But he can't get out of his body bag.
1980 says there are experts on Wendigo and their counterparts, Wend the Sky. Chad Flyboy says, hey Alan, I just cast the sculpt, praying it all comes out well. Do I have to remove all the clay in a certain amount of time from the hydrocal?
It just gets easier. I mean, it's easier when it's soft. So no, you don't have to.
Funny Geek says, I know woods that are available for your haunted woods.
Well, Body Geeks, I may come play with you some when I get the chance.
Chad says the sculpt is named the Crow Keeper. Hopefully the pics will come in a day or two. Chad, can't wait to see.
Cool.
Good job and keep working. Chris, Lisa Aaron says, we still need to see your haunted flume ride. I'll be the first to buy a ticket.
One day.
Ezekiel says, hope it's a long way away before you retire. We have many more meetings to have.
You know what? I don't. My retiring is not going to be what most retiring is. It's me retiring is doing more of this.
Will you show Jonesy again to hard reading? She's asking. I'm just reading the comments.
This is not the cat show, wife.
Hard reading.
I'm not going to pander to your whims.
Susan Mattai says Jonesy and Jenkins, my night is complete.
I'm not going to pander to your whims.
Says, hey Jonesy.
I have the camera on me so that you see me looking disappointed in you. That's what the camera's on.
What's going on? There you go, Hard Beauty. Chad Smith says you'll never retire from this stuff.
You are correct, I will not. You're right, Ezekiel, they found the Velcro that I dropped on the ground.
Justin Reed says, wait, did you do that with the mummy?
What did I do with the
I
mummy?
don't know. I'm trying to catch up and I'm caught up now, so.
Justin, we don't know what I did with the mummy.
Sweet logo. What did you use to stick foam to foam? Thanks.
What kind of foam? What kind of foam? That's the big deal. There's like 80,000 types of foam.
Warmonger says Jonesy needs a YouTube channel. Oh my god.
If you mean the pool noodles, that kind of foam, which is polyethylene foam, heat will make two pieces of polyethylene foam bond together. If you mean EVA foam, I like contact cement the best. I even like it over top of barge, which a lot of people like barge. I don't think barge is any better than weldwood. I actually prefer the weldwood.
Let's see. Chad says, I thought the name of the live was Painapalooza, not Catapalooza.
That's right, honey.
Harvey
Wife.
says, you two are funny to watch. Thanks for the kitty show. See, Harvey Beauty's happy. And 1980 says that cat mask is very lively.
It is.
Maggie K, hi from New Jersey. Just popped in looking awesome. Welcome, Maggie K.
Hooray, Jersey.
Body Geek says, hot kitty is Shannon's new YouTube. Baba Daza, I officially got hooked on your channel when I realized you had a plethora of big dogs and multiple cats. Just saying, thank you, Baba Daza. You get it.
They are part of our charm. Let's put it that way.
Jamie Light says, that cat mask is awesome. Captain Marga. Oh, she answered your question. I've been paying. Hello. Great work. I've been busy. Got to get started on Halloween. I've been driving my rig and not been able to watch on here much, but I'm going to attempt to mask for my kids, and I'll try to show you the outcome.
I would love to see it.
Angel Martinez, orange tabbies are full of character. They are, Angel.
Your face is full of
You are
character.
correct. Our orange tabby has got a lot of personality. Enigma says, is Loctite the best affordable, off-the-shelf, expanding foam?
No, it isn't. Loctite is the best off-the-shelf expanding foam, but it's more expensive than Great Stuff, which is kind of garbage. Great Stuff is temperamental and finicky, and yeah. Hopefully I've made my point there.
Let's see. Just what you said, built a chest with Loctite. Sweet Logo says, latex foam-filled props that have broken off. That was the question about the foam. Latex foam-filled props that have broken off.
Contact cement. Contact cement is the way to go.
Dan reports a 9-figure necklace. I just had to give you crap. I got it covered. I know you're busy. 9-figure necklace.
Alexa, remind me to make a 9-fingered necklace tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Okay, I'll remind you tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Maggie K says, thanks, super great being here, watching a super talented guy. Warmonger says, Jonesy YouTube channel can cover all the important topics like bug catching, mousing, sleeping, etc. How about the giant leopard frog he brought in last time?
Sure.
It's terrible. 6-string Slayer Guitar Man. I made a mold, but I mixed too much. Is there a way to determine how much plaster I need to use per layer? 3 layers of a mold, right?
There's normally 3 layers in an ultra cal mold. And what I do is I normally, for a half mask or full head mask, I mix up 24 ounces of water, and I just do it in 24 ounces of water size batches. And I might do 5 24-ounce batches. Now, whether that's, that batch might be split between 2 layers, that's fine. Doesn't hurt.
Enigma. Does Loctite give off a toxic fume like smooth-on foam does?
Not in the same way. No, it is not as active.
Clamoring for a Jonesy YouTube channel. Body Geeks, have you tried the GE foam from Walmart yet? I bought 8 cans, but didn't use any yet.
I have not tried it yet. I saw it, but I haven't tried it yet.
Todd Daughtery, gotta go cook some dinner. Just want to say thank you both for reading and creating. For all the viewers and people in chat, they're keeping this truly fun and educational. You are so welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Horror Beauty says, my neighbor's cat would always bring me things. Never understood why. Why me? Because, Horror Beauty, you have been chosen.
Okay.
That kitty loves you.
I'm doing a yellow dry brush on this, and because I'm going to do a rub out again with this, but with red. So when I do that rub out, I want this to come through as a little bit fleshy.
Pam McPherson, a haunted attraction was on my bucket list. I am fulfilling a dream.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I will pass it on to my grandchildren.
Yeah.
Brenda Miller, I almost missed the live. Guess I'll be catching up tomorrow. Christine Rose, I scored 10 cans of Loctite at Ollie's for $2.99 a can.
That's awesome.
Angie Argo Davies, I tried to make intestines with great stuff. Came out like a big blob. Painting didn't help.
Yep. Great stuff. It's not as good.
Barry Haynes. Hey guys, Alan, thanks for the home haunts lighting tips from earlier. Blue gel lenses are looking nice.
Awesome. Glad to hear that. Happy to help. Gregory emailed us a question at stillpeacestudios@gmail.com, and I was able to answer his question through email. I need to get myself a little more of the gloss. I want to gloss coat this, and then I'm going to do the rub out on it.
Ezekiel, what do you believe is the most overlooked thing in haunted houses? I believe it is sound.
You're right. I think it is sound. I think it is sound. I would probably first say costuming, but sound is certainly up there. I'm tired of seeing actors in t-shirts in haunted houses. My very good friend Scott, he said he used to work for a magician, and he thought that every magician should wear a tuxedo because that's like the uniform of being a magician. I just think that haunted actors shouldn't wear t-shirts. I think that that's the uniform of your patron. That's the uniform of average people. And I think that we should give a better silhouette. We should just have more solid design choices. I think those are fall leaves they brought in, not ones they stole from my shop.
No, they brought it in, but they're pretty. That's what I was looking at. There's a turkey. Ken Zarich says good night.
Good night, Ken.
Body Geeks is calling it a night, sealing the deal tomorrow. Thanks for being there, doing this, and sharing the dream. Tomorrow's a big day for Body Geeks. He's going to seal the deal on his
Yeah.
Ryan Demon, just curious if you've ever tried the expanding foam that comes in gallon sizes. Seems like it would be a better deal than individual cans.
Yeah, I mean, if you look over here at my shop. Whoop, 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 look out, buddy. This is a 5-gallon kit of Polytech 5-pound flexible foam. Down there is our cast resin and TC266 flexible foam. And over here, closer to where I was working, there is this is foams and silicones, and that is urethane 5-gallon kit. So yes, I do use the bigger sizes. Now, and when I am doing YouTube videos, I don't often use that simply because I try to do things that people can immediately replicate. And a lot of folks, they want to see you use stuff that comes from a store, not that you have to order online or order special. Lots of people. I actually have a special heat gun just for blending the polyethylene, for welding the polyethylene foam. It's a special heat gun just for that. But you haven't seen me use it in a video because you don't have access to it. You'd have to buy an $80 heat gun. Why not do it with the $10 heat gun from Harbor Freight?
West Virginia Kitchen Winch. I love the pool noodle pumpkin video today. I just scored about 40 noodles from the dollar store yesterday, so guess what I'll be making? Thanks for the
Pumpkins
idea.
for days.
Nigga says they have an unlimited shelf life for the phones once you open them.
That's cool.
Says, congratulations to Bonnie. Stacy Hawkins just got back from our last rehearsal before the show opens.
Cool.
She says, welcome back, Bob. Good luck tomorrow, Stacy.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
It's gonna be a great show.
She's doing a ghost tour in downtown Dallas.
With Rue.
Yeah, with Rue, who's also here every now and then.
Dan Corson, I'm going to try to use the heat gun on black 6mm plastic or maybe PVC glue. Thanks, Chad.
That works.
Maggie K, I'm in love with how organized and big your work area is. Impressive. I'm a little jealous.
Well, okay, it's organized. I spent an hour cleaning it today. Like, I have to clean every day because I do stuff. I make things, you know.
153 people are watching. Baba Daza, here's a good question for you guys. Post-Halloween, what are, if anything, you might snatch up from Halloween stores on the cheap?
Okay, I actually get a lot of stuff from Halloween stores. I don't do a lot of costumes. I think they're mostly crap. Today, in quality, not in look. The look is fine, but it has to last longer. You know, it just doesn't last long enough. So, yeah.
Roger Pope. Ryan Demon, has anyone ever used the pool noodles in really hot environment? I'm in Florida and I'm wondering how they will hold up.
It's fine. The heat gun gets 800 degrees. And if you don't hold it on there and immediately put them together, then they won't bond. It takes like 700 degrees to make it bond. And it's not like when it gets hot, it falls apart. It's like not how that foam works. You're fine in the Florida heat. I've already answered you. You asked that on YouTube, and I answered that. So I respond to your comment when you asked that.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine, yes. I'm in Texas. We're probably hotter than Florida most of the time.
Chad Flyboy, I can't remember everything. Sorry, I just finished the mold. How long before pulling the clay sculpt out?
If the mold is open already, then start pulling your clay out. Be very careful because your plaster is still curing.
From a business standpoint, is it worth selling sculpted chess pieces, or is it the same cons like selling gloves?
It depends on how much you sell them for. But there is a dearth of latex chess pieces in the haunted house costuming world. There's also, though, a dearth of how do you hold them on? How do they stay on? No one really has a good system for that. A lot of times they attach the latex chess piece onto a t-shirt, and then you have a t-shirt that you can never wash, and that's disgusting. So you have to find you got to find a good way to make it work. There's problems that you have to solve.
Riot Demon says YouTube never notified me, so thanks for answering his question about Florida.
How dare they not do that? But yes, I did answer it. I swear I did.
For your post-Halloween stuff, where is the first place you hit?
Probably Spirit, just because they're not open long after Halloween. Spirit, Target. I don't bother with Walmart. Normally their stuff is so low end. Although I did buy a couple things from them today for future YouTube videos.
I know you can use epoxy resin for eyes and teeth and stuff. Can you use epoxy resin an entire latex mask? If so, would it be a full resin mask, or would the latex still make the mask flexible?
Okay.
This is just agreed.
Resin is not flexible. If you mean 5-minute epoxy, which is slightly flexible, you can use that. If you mean like resin, you can make a resin mask, but it won't have any flex to it at all. So I don't know. Are you talking about putting 5-minute epoxy over latex? You can do that. It'll stiffen your latex. You still have some flex, but no stretch. 5-minute epoxy has stretch. 5-minute epoxy has flex. It does not have stretch.
James Holbert Jr., are there any YouTube channels you suggest for Halloween? The pool noodle wielding thing was great.
Well, Distortions has their channel, which is excellent. There is Hollywood Haunter, which is excellent. They do some projects that are probably beyond most people's means to do easily. The Bloodshed Brothers, they're more of a vlog, but they do some projects. Diabolo or Diablo, it's not spelled like Diablo though, so Diabolo, who also runs Haunter's Hangout, has an excellent YouTube channel. Grave of the Groves is an excellent YouTube channel. Yard Haunter Steve is an excellent YouTube channel.
K&T do Halloween.
K&T Do Halloween is an excellent YouTube channel.
Cobwebs and Candlesticks.
Cobwebs and Candlesticks. And then you go with Weird Kid Dave. There's quite a bunch out there, actually. But Hallstaff, who does more on the electronic, animatronic end. He does a lot of good stuff.
His and Her Homestead said, thank you so much for providing listening entertainment for me as I ice cookies.
Hooray.
It's terribly hard. Chad Flyboy says, actually, I worded that wrong. I just finished the plaster and about to flip it over and use the ratchet strap.
Cool. Pull that sucker out.
Warmonger says, will the boar receive any hair or fur or stubble?
Yes, he'll get some. I'm not sure what yet.
Dan McCorson, Alan, I have some Canadian goose feathers I gathered. If you're interested, I'll send them to you.
Right now I'm good, thank you. I'm full of...
Hawkeye79 says, I often find myself saying, what would Alan Hops do? New t-shirt idea.
Oh, I don't know about that. It sounds like it goes to my head a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't want to seem like I am. I don't think I'm all that.
Dan McCorson, Stacy Hawkins will take those feathers.
There you go.
Hawkeye79, great job on the mask. He looks awesome, like he belongs in a Guillermo del Toro thick flick like Pan's Labyrinth. That is high praise.
Yes, it is.
Morganaza, Stacy, I bet you could send some fun materials for your haunted headdresses. Exactly. She could really use that. Justin Rudy, can you buy a 5-minute epoxy in larger amounts? All I ever see is a small push stick of things.
DevCon.
Yes, I meant 5-minute epoxy.
Yeah, DevCon. DevCon 5-minute epoxy you can buy by the gallon. DEVCON, and you can get it from Amazon.
Six String Slayer, what's the best way to determine prices when selling masks? Is it based on how much time I put into the mask, material, costs, etc.?
Okay, there's a couple ways to do it, all right? There is a very common and easy way, materials plus times 5. So if I have 15, if I have 20 bucks in materials in this mask, then it would be 100 bucks. Materials times 5. So that is one way to do it. Another way to do it is you take, how many of these could I make in a day? Could I pour up 5 of these, and could I pull and trim 5 of them and strap them and paint 5? I could probably do that. I could probably pour 5 molds, pull and trim 5, and then come and paint 5 in one 8 to 10 hour workday. I can do that. So then how much do I want to make in a day? And then it is that divided. That's it. I'll finish 5. If I sell those 5, I've made that in a day, and that's how much I wanted to make.
Maggie K, is there a way to... Are you done?
Not yet.
Oh, sorry.
When you're starting out, maybe your goal is to make 200 bucks a day. So it would be cheaper. My goal now, I want to make $1,000 a day. When I'm selling my work, but I'm also very fast. So I can probably do 10 of these in a day. I'm very fast, so I want to make $1,000 a day. In a day, can I make 10 $100 masks? Yes, no problem. Okay, now with the next one.
Maggie K, is there a way to repair cracking latex masks? How can one protect them from cracking?
The biggest problem with latex masks is UV light. That is the thing, UV, sunlight. That is what's going to age your latex and make it fall apart and make it be destroyed, is sunlight. Get them out of the sun. Whatever you have to do, get them out of the sun. So that's the biggest. Now, what protects your car's dashboard, which is vinyl, and some latex compounds in there? Armor All. Put Armor All on it. That's going to help replenish those oils and give it a little bit of UV protection. And that used to be a very common thing. It doesn't cause any problems, but it just kind of fell out of favor. I'm not sure why. I still do it on a lot of mine.
Andrew Brzezinski, light duty harness for a chest piece attached at shoulders and waist. Could be made from Velcro, leather, or webbing. Carabiners.
Could be.
Babadaza. Okay, they're getting some leathers to Stacy. Jake. Quinine. I made these pumpkin rot style scarecrow statues about 4 years ago, and they look really good, but I used a lot of bittersweet vines, and they don't last. They actually just become dust.
Yeah.
And of course, the skeletons from Walgreens at the end of the season, normally $4.50. Normally you go to 15. That's a hell of a deal.
That's true. You're right. It is.
139 people are watching. It is 12 minutes till 10.
Okay, I'm probably gonna. Know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put him on pause. So you check out his paint job so far, and let's get the Kimberly Malder done, whose name is. Honey, what's his name?
Oh gosh.
I know you keep tallying right on
Yeah,
this
that's
down.
what I do. That's what I do.
Kind of your job. Gibbery Mouther has a name. It's not Nasher. That's my Thing-inspired mask. I'll have to look it up. If anyone remembers off the top of their head what the name of this mask is. Okay, I gotta mix up a red. I want to use red on this. And one of the reasons why I glossed it is so that the wash will come off. It'll react differently. I want this to be kind of glossy and slimy. So I did that gloss first, and then I do this over it. I think that'll be effective. I'm going to grab myself an empty bottle from this big spray airbrush.
Let's see, Justin Mooney. It's funny because some people say the worst thing you can do to a latex mask is wear it because they break down from skin oils, which is funny considering that that's their whole purpose.
Yeah, and don't forget that a latex mask is tree sap. You know, it's tree sap.
Jake Manine says, question is, what can I use to make lasting vine looking stuff for outdoors? I make cars, so I have access to all kinds of chemicals. Thanks for reading my last one.
I would use, hold on, it's gray, it's foam, it's used for cabin chinking. It is backer rod. Look up backer rod. I would use backer rod. Backer rod with, backer rod.
Angie says, I have anxiety and this stuff calms me down and helps me relax.
Cool. I actually have a scarecrow coming up where I'm going to use some backer rod and stuff. That'll probably be my Halloween week, YouTube Wednesday, because I like doing scarecrows right around Halloween week. And I think my wife would let me put it up in our backwoods all year.
Your wife will let you.
She will let me.
Tell us what your wife will let you do to put it in the house.
I got a salacious crumb, and my wife let me put salacious crumb in the house. All right, so here's a rub out that I'm going to do. I'm going to grab. I have these black alcohol rags already. I don't mind if there's black on them. I don't think that's going to be a problem. I'm going to reuse them. I'm big on reusing these paper towels. A lot of times my help wants to throw them away, and I'm like, hey, no, save that, dry it out. We'll use it for something else.
Enigma says, what type of horror mix is most overused and underused in your opinion, like space horror, etc.?
I'm sick of demonic possession. I'm sick of demonic possession. I'm tired of those horror movies right now. We're on such this trend from and Sinister, and I mean, there's so many. It's all demonic possession, you know, and ghosts, the nun, and Supernatural is great. But, you know, I want some monsters in my monster movie. You know, I want it to crawl out of a swamp and go bite people. There we go. That's kind of the look that I want. I want that red down there in the deeps. Dog's about to put me out. This is how I'm painting things. Like, this is what's happening right behind me. These dogs are fighting and wrestling, and I'm trying to just paint that. I'm no business.
As it says, what about a clear UV clear coat from Can that can be put on the brush?
For the vines you're talking about?
Jackie, Brecky UK. I would like to make a dragon that moves and makes noise when you walk past or go near it, but I don't know what kind of electronics to use.
Well, I mean, you're talking about something that has to be really durable. Well, it depends, but animatronics normally in the haunt world are pneumatic, so it's air powered, but I'd probably go electric, where you're talking about linear actuators, or just motor driven with a controller.
That was Brecky UK. French, they're trying to, I don't think anybody knows what this is named, but hopefully it's named anything. French says mouth face, and Rob says, wasn't it something Japanese sounding? That's what I was doing.
No, Shikumo was the Japanese sounding one.
Angie Rogers says, I don't even like hard stuff, it makes it so addictive. Justin Moody says, I think he should be shiny. I feel like he would be wet if I were to see if he was in person.
Oh yeah, he's going to be very shiny. Because after I get this wash done, I'm going to go back with another coat of gloss.
Angie Rogers says, I have smart dolls, and it says, don't leave them after midnight. Ted Donnery says, just came back for a few minutes, but I gotta run. Again, name the mask mouth face. And hi, pretty. I told you the site was awesome. Okay, thank you for bringing somebody with you. Jake says, Becker Rod, awesome. I'm new to this kind of art, so even familiar things would never occur to me to use.
Yeah, Baccarat is actually pretty amazing. You can get it in 1 inch thick and 3/4 of an inch thick. I just used some when I did the Pelican mask for Stanley Scriven, who I think is watching now or was earlier. It's really nice, in my opinion. Okay, so I like this color. I like what's happening. Let me show you guys how this guy looks up close. See how the red is in there? Now I gotta hit these eyes again. And I gotta hit these teeth again. For that, I'll need my chair. I recorded a video today that I cannot wait to edit, so I'll be editing that tonight. I'm very excited. And my wife is excited.
I am excited. It's going to be fun. Okay. Let's see.
The reason why this wash went on nice and thin is because I glossed it first. So it doesn't have as much tooth. It's slippery, you know.
Tarantula says, you named the stream Painapalooza. Dogs think it's wrestling Creole with it.
Yeah.
She's right.
Pay-per-view for doggos.
Stacy says Gray is watching with me.
Hey, Gray.
Baba Daza, sometimes the best thing you can do for materials is to go to a hardware store and buy random things that you see can be used in creative ways. If you don't know what the heck you're going to use.
I do that all the time.
That's
Here, because Gray is watching. She says when I put my glasses on, I'm in haunt dad mode.
Go for it.
So there you go.
Edson Juice says, No, for UV protection on the latex and for the spray can, but cannot be sprayed on too.
No, I wouldn't use anything out of the spray can because there are propellants in there sometimes that are bad for the latex. And I think you mentioned that, and that's why you said brush on. Now your comment makes more sense.
Jay Quinine says, I'm also sick of possession movies and found footage, but there is a movie called Creep, and it was great. Very different. No monsters, but Creep. Ezekiel says that the mask looks moist indeed. Justin Rudy says, how fun is he to pull from the mold with all those teeth in different angles?
It stinks.
Ezekiel would like to know, is there another name for backer rod?
Insulation rod. It is polyethylene tubing, but it's not tubing. It's polyethylene rod, so I don't know.
Jake says, I also made an alien beside the pump. I made a 5-gallon of KY and it stays glossy when it dries. Bonadaza is excited about a new video, and War Monitor says, will the eyes have pupils or just the blind one?
They will have pupils. They might not get them tonight because it's getting late.
Stacy says, yay, Dad mode, it made her night. Dan McCorson says, the actors are liking the apple barrel acrylic airbrush paint. Thanks for the tip.
That was forever ago. Yeah, normally I be very careful with that because it's not approved for skin use. So that was from like the 70s when I recommended that, and now I pretty much only use makeup.
You are at 9:59 p.m. How much longer are you going to go? Because I'm at 8%.
I'm painting all these eyes and teeth, and then I'll wrap it for this evening.
Dusty Denise, I ordered 25 pounds of clay. I'm wondering about how many sculpts I can get out of it.
Well, just reuse your clay, and then I would say 50. Most clay is recyclable. I normally don't, but most clay is. And you use about 20 pounds or so on a half-mass sculpt, so you got enough for a good size half-mass sculpt.
Daza says, thank you so much for being so generous with your time. Riot Demon says, you can find backer rod in the weather stripping section at Lowe's or Home Depot. Riot Demon, Ezekiel's in Australia,
Yeah.
so he may not be able to get it there. Or, I don't think that they may not have those there.
And everything outside of his house wants to kill him.
Here comes a dog. Would you like a dog?
There we go.
Jake Quinine, I know that backer rod is, Home Depot has it usually for daps in concrete. I think it's called backing rod. They should have it on their site.
Yeah, I forgot they use it on concrete. I use it, I see it for insulation mostly, like around door frames and stuff.
10 o'clock.
Yep.
152 people are watching. Painapalooza says, wow.
So I will have to paint his eyes, probably tomorrow or whatever, but I'll be working in the shop. I might go live. I have a lot of pouring to do, so I'll pour up a bunch of masks, and then maybe I'll go live while I'm waiting on those masks to dry. So that'll be tomorrow, late morning, early afternoon for me.
Rudy, I sell masks and people buy them, and I get complaints or bad feedback from people saying that the masks don't fit them. Should everyone make all sculpts large or take risks on your masks not fitting?
I would actually say take risks, but also, pick a size range that you want to work for. I make bigger masks because I often use my head form, so my masks are normally larger. And, if you make smaller masks, there's a lot of guys who make smaller masks, but my masks are kind of medium to large in size. but pick a size, you know, with whatever head form you're using, and work in your comfort zone. If I ever did a silicone mask company, it would be for big-headed tools like me, big toe-headed dudes. That is a gibbering Malver. I'm so happy with that. Now he's going to get pupils, he's going to get gloss, and he's going to get some drool. So, but that'll all happen tomorrow. But I am happy with how he's coming. I want to thank everybody for hanging out tonight with us and commenting on the live stream and just chatting with me and the wife while we are here in the shop. Wife, thank you for reading comments. That allows me to concentrate on my work and lets me get more done. Wife, why don't you say goodnight to everybody?
Good night, guys. Be safe.
I say goodnight, and I always say, go make stuff.